In today's video, my hair's a mess, but I'm actually going to be going over my 0 to 1K a day strategy with TikTok ads. Now, I don't want to waste too much of your guys' time in this video, but I just want to let you guys know that I'm actually going to be giving away 2 or 3 100% free mentorships, where essentially I'll be hopping on a call with you guys every single week just to pretty much help you guys out when it comes to scaling your e-commerce store with Facebook or TikTok ads. All you guys need to do to enter is make sure you commented hashtag dropshipping down in the comment sections below. Also, it would really help me out if you are subscribed to the channel. And if you could please leave a like on today's video, it really helps me out in the YouTube algorithm. I've been making a bunch of videos here on my channel, and in some cases it takes me up to 10 hours just to produce one. So if you could help me out just by dropping a like, it really helps me out in the YouTube algorithm and boosts me up, and it would literally only take you 2 seconds just to leave that like. Now, before I get into the pretty much meat and bones of this video and I actually go in and show you my actual manual step-by-step strategy, I'm actually going to be going over the pros and cons of TikTok ads in 2021. Now, obviously we're going to start off with the pros or the good news. And obviously there's a huge, large, very broad audience on the TikTok ads platform. And it's not only little kids. A lot of people think, or most people that are engaging on TikTok are 12 to maybe even 13, 14, 15-year-olds. And that's simply just not the case. There's a ton of moms, there's a ton of sisters, there's a ton of dads, a ton of grandmas, grandpas on the TikTok ads platform, which leaves a lot of room for advertisers. Another thing to keep in mind that isn't necessarily an offer anymore, when I did get into TikTok ads around 6 months ago, actually they matched up to $2,000 in my ad spend. So I put $2,000 into my wallet and they gave me another $2,000 in ad credit. Something else to keep in mind is actually TikTok has a super low CPM, or essentially cost per 1,000 impressions. It is only $5 to target 1,000 people in the United States on TikTok ads, where on Facebook, it would almost be around $10 to $20 just to target people in the United States. And last but not least, undoubtedly, there's a large amount of potential with the TikTok platform. The past 2-3 years, this is the platform that we've all been hearing about consistently. So I definitely think TikTok is kind of here to stay. And I think it's a platform that you might want to start getting into when it comes to advertising your e-com stores. Now, if we're actually getting into the cons, or essentially the bad news that comes with the TikTok ads platform, is obviously TikTok ads do take a little bit longer to approve. You have to understand TikTok is still manually going through all the ads that are getting published. They don't have automated systems in place like Facebook does. Also, there's limited amounts of countries and locations that you could just target overall on the TikTok ads platform. I think maybe there's around 7 to 8 countries that you could target, and pretty much half of those are kind of useless countries when it does come to capitalizing off of that audience. Also, your creative options are limited. If you really think about it, the only sort of section for content on TikTok is just the For You page. Whereas on Facebook and Instagram ads, you could target Instagram stories, Facebook video feeds, Facebook news feeds, Instagram feeds. So there's a ton of different creative options you can select on the Facebook ads platform, where on TikTok ads, it's a little bit more limited to just only your For You page. And last but not least, your ad delivery process is a lot slower on TikTok as opposed to Facebook ads. When you do publish your first TikTok ad, I would say expect to see your daily budget not spend until after the full 3 days that your ads have been up. Typically, when I'm launching my first TikTok ads the first day, it's spending maybe 25% of the daily budget that I've set. And in many cases, that's kind of being generous. And now we're actually going to be getting into kind of the meat and bones of this video, where pretty much I'm just going to tell you guys, make sure you've installed your TikTok Pixel. I'm not actually going to go through this with you guys step by step. I'm on the Shopify platform, so all you need to do if you're on Shopify is just download the TikTok sales channel. So in order to create a brand new campaign on the TikTok ads platform, if you're on the dashboard, simply just click the campaign button in the main menu of the TikTok dashboard, and you'll actually be brought to this screen where if you just click the little blue create button, you'll start to be able to actually create your first campaign here. Once you do that, you'll actually be brought to this page where it's essentially just going to show you all of your advertising objectives. This is kind of similar to Facebook ads, except there's just less objectives to check. So in my specific case, what I would always do is actually select the conversions objective. I have seen a few people actually select the traffic objective and get a few sales to their e-com store. But in this specific case, I always like to just stay straightforward with it, tell the platform what I'm actually going for. When it comes to advertising traffic to your website, I wouldn't actually recommend doing this, because obviously your CPMs are going to be lower, but with that, you're actually going to be driving a whole bunch of less quality, less qualified individuals to your website. I've seen maybe one individual have decent success with the traffic objective, but besides that, Everyone I know just kind of runs the conversion objectives, and that's just kind of the way that things go. Next up, just make sure you enter a campaign name, and in the budget category here, just keep no limit checked on. If you just go down here, click continue, you'll be good to go. And we're actually in the ad group settings now. And on this page, you're pretty much going to be able to input any of your targeting options that you want to be running. And if you've ever used the Facebook ads platform, you're going to be pretty familiar with this, because if you didn't know, TikTok ads is pretty much a carbon copy of the Facebook ads platform, which is why it's such an easy sales channel to get into if you're already running Facebook ads. So first things first, what you're going to do is just make sure you've named your ad group something, and also select your pixel here just by selecting that, and then your optimization event should be complete payment. Then if you actually go ahead and scroll down, you'll actually be able to see your placement options here, where typically I don't like to run automatic placements on this platform. This is simply just because I'm not familiar with all the platforms advertised on this little section. The only platform I'm really familiar with is the TikTok ads platform, and besides that, I really don't care about any of these other platforms. And if you have split tested any of these platforms so far and you are already running TikTok ads, let me know down in the comments below how these placements actually went for you, because I have no idea. I've never actually split tested these at all. I just always made sure just to check them off. But if we're moving on, as you can see here, we have the user comment and video download section. Now, I usually like to keep these on. This is solely for the fact that maybe someone else wants to share their thoughts in the comment section, or download the video and then send it to their mom or a friend, where our ad already says our website in the video, so it doesn't really make a difference. I hear a lot about other individuals or dropshippers specifically scared about other dropshippers stealing their ads and then using it as their own with that download feature. But this is actually the main reason that we create our own content for our e-com store. We literally say the name of our shop in our ad, have our logo edited, and not to mention the TikTok watermark gets displayed all over our ad when someone does download it. So it's really nothing to worry about unless you pretty much just ripped a video from someone else and you're scared about it getting ripped again the lazy way. Honestly, I would stop doing everything the lazy way when it comes to advertising on social media. Start ordering your products in hand and start actually creating your own content to go along with it. Now, if we're moving on to the targeting section of everything, first things first, the audience tab here, you'll essentially be able to use all of your custom audiences when it comes to retargeting, LLAs, or anything that you might be wanting to advertise to. But in this particular case, I don't have any of those on this ad account, so we're not going to be running any retargeting, any LLA audiences. You're simply just going to want to ignore this if you are a brand new bare bones beginner to the TikTok ads platform. So the next things up is actually the location category, where as you'll see here, if we do select it, there's literally only 8 countries to target, and a lot of these countries are So what I typically like to do in this day and age, or right now in time, is only target the United States. This is solely just because the United States CPMs are so low. You're only spending $5 to target 1,000 people, whereas on Facebook ads, you're probably going to spend on average around $10 to $20 just to advertise to a US audience. That's where it kind of makes sense to actually target the United States on this platform. If you really think about it, all those other countries don't really matter until you've successfully tested your offer through the United States audience. When it comes to the gender and age range, I typically like to keep these as broad as possible, but if we are talking about the age, I don't like to be targeting 13 to 17-year-olds. I personally never had success with them, so what I like to do is only target 18 to 55 plus. And from there, you can kind of assume that most 13 to 17-year-olds don't even have a credit card on hand, or aren't even able to get a credit card on hand until they are 18. So it doesn't really even make sense to be advertising to those individuals. Also, something to keep in mind if you are in the language section and you are targeting, say, people from, Korea, Japan, Turkey, what you're going to want to do if your ad is only speaking in English is only target people who are speaking English. Now, if we're moving on to the interest category of things, as of right now, it's relatively broad and limited. So if you're just testing a product, I wouldn't even recommend touching this thing. Typically, what I like to do in the beginning is split test my bid with 3 or 4 no interest ad groups. But I actually went ahead and talked to a TikTok ad rep. They told me to only run no interest campaigns until you've actually started making consistent conversions. And that's personally what I did, and it was probably the best advice that I'd actually gotten so far from a TikTok ad rep. So just ignore this altogether. And what I like to do is obviously set my daily budget to at least 20, because that's the minimum that you can actually set it to on TikTok. And as you can see here, we do have a bidding and optimization category here, and this is kind of where most of the heavy work comes in. They actually suggested that I set my bid to around 33% of the actual product price that I'm selling. So say I'm selling a product for $15 on my Shopify store, what I do for my bid, even though this is a suggested bid, is I'd only put in $5. But like I also said, we will be split testing this bid. So we're not going to just launch one ad at $20 a day with a $5 bid. What we're actually going to go ahead and do is launch around 3 to 4 ad groups at a $20 a day with just manual different bids. So one of my ad groups is going to have a $10 bid. One of my ad groups is even going to have a $15 bid, etc. And now that we're finished with the ad group settings, it's actually time to move on to the ad creative setup, which I'm not going to get too in depth here. It's actually pretty straightforward. Realistically, you just need to make sure that you actually have a creative that's actually 9:16 and actually fits the whole resolution of the TikTok ad feed. What I found very, very interesting about the TikTok ads platform is that you're not going to be able to create your own native page. Essentially, the way that this works is you're actually going to type in your own display name. So let's just say we're advertising a store called Retarget. Your display name would be Retarget, and your profile image is essentially going to be your profile picture. So if those users who actually see your ad click on that profile picture, they won't be brought to your TikTok page. They'll be brought to some random advertising page that just kind of has your link. But also, when it comes to creating your creative on TikTok, you're going to want to take a more natural approach, as I said earlier, as opposed to the Facebook ad platform where you can kind of upload a more borderline professional commercial. Typically, my ad creative creation strategy is actually to send my product first to an influencer, have them promote it on their own page, and then also I'll get around 3 to 4 videos from them that they're kind of giving me permission to use as my own ad on my store. Essentially, the way this will go is, you know, they'll get maybe a bracelet in the mail and they'll say, I just got my bracelet in the mail from x.com and I love it. Go check them out, swipe up, click shop now, whatever it may be, whatever the call to action is. That's kind of how I kind of make my ad creatives nowadays. If you guys actually went ahead with my advice and you actually created your ad and created your ad creative and published it, and then you duplicated your ad groups 3 times and just changed the bid, then you should be good to go. So let me know down in the comments how this actually worked out for you.